Celebrities that have food names. Celebrities may not be famed for eating too much, but there are a bunch of them that have food written right into their names. Some of them had the surnames passed down, some had the first names gifted to them at birth, and others chose them as stage names. Halle Berry. The Oscar-winning actress is known for her bold and vibrant roles in films like Monsters Ball, 2001, and X-Men, 2000. So it's appropriate that she shares her name with one of the most vibrant fruits out there. Kevin Bacon. Just like bacon is everyone's favorite breakfast food, Kevin Bacon is everyone's favorite actor. Whether he's dancing in Footloose, 1984, or scaring in Friday the 13th, 1980, Bacon is always a hit, unless you're a vegetarian. O.J. Simpson. When you say O.J., you either think of orange juice, the world's favorite breakfast drink, or you think of the former football player who became infamous for spending 9 years in prison. His story isn't quite as sweet, though. Brie Larson. The Oscar-winning actress has been in a few cheesy films like Sleepover, 2004, and 13 Going on 30, 2004, which is apt since she also has a very cheesy name. Let's just hope she doesn't smell like the cheese, too. Meatloaf. The late singer Michael Leah Day chose the name Meatloaf because his father said he looked like Ground Chuck when he was born, and his high school football coach called him a hunk of meatloaf. Who knew it would go on to become so legendary? Tim Curry. Tim Curry pulled off one of the spiciest performances of all time as Frankenfurter in The Rocky Horror Picture Show, 1975. Just like a Curry, his performances are always rich, layered, and stay with you long after the event. Darryl Strawberry. Former MLB star and 8-time All-Star Darryl Strawberry might sound super sweet, but his career was actually marked by controversies related to substance abuse. This led to multiple suspensions, but he still has a pretty sweet reputation. Condoleezza Rice. The former U.S. Secretary of State and political scientist shares her last name with one of the biggest food staples on the planet. Just like rice, she's steady and grounding, but not necessarily to everyone's taste. Chuck Berry. Chuck Berry is the rock and roll pioneer behind sweet hits like Johnny Be Good, 1958, and Go Johnny Go, 1959. So, you might think that he had chosen his sweet name to match, but it's actually the name he was born with. Sean Bean. Sean Bean shares his name with one of the world's most consumed foods. Just like beans, the famed actor's roles in the Lord of the Rings franchise and Game of Thrones series are dependable, earthy, and packed with substance. Vanilla Ice. The rapper's real name is Robert Matthew Van Winkle. However, he chose Vanilla Ice as his name because he was called Vanilla by his breakdancing crew, as he was the only white member. He later combined this with his signature dance move, the Ice. Peaches Geldof. Peaches Geldof rose to fame as the daughter of the musician Bob Geldof, and then carved her own path as a TV personality. Sadly, despite her sweet name, she had a sad story and died at just 25 years old. Apple Martin. When Gwyneth Paltrow and Chris Martin announced that they had named their daughter Apple, the world was pretty shocked. However, she has since carved out a career as a model and walks that original name right down the runway. Ginger Rogers. Ginger Rogers is the legendary actress and dancer who lit up Hollywood's golden age. Her real name is Virginia Catherine McMath, but she took her stepfather's last name, and her cousin couldn't pronounce Virginia, so she became Ginger. Brandy the singer and actress is known for her starring in the sitcom Moesha and releasing hits like The Boy Is Mine, 1998. As a result, she is so beloved that she only needs to go by one name, which she shares with a very classic liquor. Her full name, however, is Brandy Rayana Norbu-Jack Lemon. The spelling may not be quite right, but the sound of the late actor's last name is just as zesty as he was. He is famed for his roles in The Apartment, 1960, and Some Like It Hot, 1959. Well, some may like it hot, but others like it sour. Ood. Stephen Curry Wardell. Stephen Curry II, more commonly known as Steph Curry, is an American professional basketball player for the Golden State Warriors of the National Basketball Association. His spicy name and performance on the field are both legendary. John Candy. When you're born with a name as sweet as John Candy, it would be a crime not to go into show business. The comedic actor pulled off hilarious performances that were sweet, comforting, and universally loved, just like his name. Sugar Ray Robinson. Sugar Ray Robinson may have one of the sweetest names in showbiz, but his career was far from it. Famed for being a legendary boxer, his opponents definitely didn't think that he was as sweet as Sugar when he was knocking them out. Ice Cube. The rapper and actor Ice Cube's real name is O'Shea Jackson. However, he chose the stage name when his older brother got mad at him as a kid and said that he would turn him into an ice cube. The cool nickname went on to become his public identity. Ice Spice. Ice Spice's real name is Isis Nija Gaston. However, she chose the stage name because Ice sounded so much like her own that it became her childhood nickname. She apparently then picked Spice because it rhymed and she loves spicy food. Carrot Top Scott Christopher Thompson is an actor and stand-up comedian known professionally as Carrot Top. While the term is often used to offend people with ginger hair, the curly red head has decided to own it instead. Jon Hamm. Jon Hamm is an acclaimed actor who is best known for his role as Don Draper in the series Mad Men. Luckily for him, though, there is absolutely nothing hammy about his performances on screen. Basil Rathbone, Philip St. John. Basil Rathbone MC was an English actor who's most famous for playing the first-ever Sherlock Holmes in The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, 1939. He then shortened it to Basil Rathbone and has been remembered by it ever since. John Oates. John Oates is one half of the classic duo Hall & Oates. However, their wealth of incredible hits, such as You Make My Dreams, 1980, is far more exciting than boring old Oates, so it's a rather misleading title. Alec Guinness. Sir Alec Guinness was an English actor who had acclaimed performances on stage and screen, including as Obi-Wan Kenobi in Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, 1977. Let's just hope he wasn't drinking any Guinness while he was on set. Harvey Milk. Harvey Bernard Milk was an American politician and the first openly gay man to be elected to public office in California. He soon became known as just Milk in the media, and it even became the title of the 2008 film about his life. Fiona Apple criminal and paper bag singer, Fiona Apple McAfee Maggart, was forced to shorten her name when music producers said that it wasn't catchy enough. It works perfectly, though, because her tunes are just as fresh as her name. Jason Orange, 1/5 of the original Take That lineup. Jason Orange definitely added some zest to the British boy band. He left the group in 2014 after almost 15 years with the band, but he's still remembered as a part of the iconic group. Rosemary Clooney. Rosemary Clooney was a beloved American singer and actress. Just like Rosemary, she brought flavor to every role she had, especially her most well-known performance in the holiday classic White Christmas, 1954.